The sun, the most brightest object in our heavens, is a pure fire. With the maps and the celestial maps he made, many of the early mariners traveled through the Mediterranean Sea. How successful, obviously, I hope was successful. Let's take a look at what he said now, according to the other sources. Now, what's quite interesting is this notion, and let's see if I can draw you into it. I think you would agree that whatever you experience in this world, whatever it is something curious. The only thing you ever see is color. Right? The only thing you ever see is color. You infer that there's an object behind the color, but the only thing you ever see is color. That is to say, the only thing you ever see are color, and color is a quality. But you don't hear words, you hear sounds. Right? The primary data coming into you is color and sound. These are the qualities. Now, as different things take on different colors, so we call them different things. Now, what's behind the quality? What's behind the quality? What is the stuff behind this colored thing? Behind this colored thing? Behind this color? What is it behind all of the qualities? Because, would you not agree, as far as our experience is concerned, all we see is things taking on different qualities, size and shape and colors and sound. Therefore, what if we just stay with that? Then let us say what we really have here is a vast reservoir of qualities. And things, what we call things, emerge from here with qualities, and then they go through processes of destruction, and the qualities simply return. Therefore, the basic reservoir is a reservoir of all the qualities. And everything is just a mixture of different qualities. But the qualities themselves must always be a particular source and a return, and therefore overall there's a balance. Now, what is the particular stuff itself? That is unlimited. The basic stuff of the universe is basically unlimited. Has no limit, unlimited. It's the qualities that are added to them that give it the size and shape and the character that they have. Therefore, you see, what's really going on in this unlimited vitality that's going on is simply the development and return. And Anaximander had a very fine idea. He said, look here, you can understand man, the whole development of man, from child to death. You can see the whole rise of cities. You can see the whole rise of cities. You can see the whole rise of cultures as nothing other than the rise and the fall, and therefore the return to these basic qualities back to their source, a great reservoir. And therefore, what's most important to see is that everything fits this, comes out of, returns, the rise and the fall of all things. For that's how everything is ordered. The stuff itself is unlimited. Therefore, there's opposites. This comes, this returns. Coming, returning. Two primary opposites. The world itself is unlimited because the basic stuff behind it all is qualityless. It's unlimited, formless. And now, when we take this view and we consider it for a few minutes, we can come back and we can say, is this how we understand the man? Is this how we understand? Huh? Because Anaximander is one of the fundamental thinkers. But Aristotle just says, the unlimited is the first principle. That's true. It is that from which coming to be of things and qualities take place. That's true. It's that to which they return when they perish. They give satisfaction to one another in making repatriation for their injustice. Therefore, in this exchange, it's a moral universe. Because everything finally balances out. Now, I would like to now quote a few things that come from other thinkers. First of his engineering. He was the first to draw a map containing all the outlines of land and sea. He constructed a global chart of the sky. He called the earth spherical. He said the sun is of the purest fire.
Who was this? Who was this?
Same thinker. Who's saying this?
Yes.
Simplicus. Simplicius. S-I-M-P-L-I-C-I-U-S. And he's reflecting on Anaximander. This is what he's saying. He thought, he said. So I have one good quote I'd like to share with you. He was the successor of Thales, and he said that the ultimate source and first principle, as well as the primary substance, is the unlimited. The four elements change into one another. He asserts that not any one of them is elemental. The coming to be does not involve any alteration of the basic substance. Now, this is really quite interesting. He said that everything comes to be from earlier forms. Animals came to be from vapors raised by the sun. Man came into being from an animal other than himself, namely a form of fish, which in early times he resembled. He says, too, that in the earliest times men were generated from various kinds of animals. For whereas the other animals can quickly get food for themselves, the human infant requires careful feeding for a long time after birth, so that if he had originated suddenly, he could never have preserved his own existence. Plutarch. Anaximander says that men were originally generated in the bodies of fishes, and after birth they were reared in the way that sharks are reared until they became capable of protecting themselves, and that eventually they were cast ashore so that they had to learn to live on dry land. Therefore, he worked out principles of evolution, didn't he? Now they're looking at the everyday world